Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Verona, season number 2 of Very Good Shapes to all of you. If you're watching this live on Twitch, when Wheat gets confused about the good shapes and the bad shapes, you can now use the emotes to help him learn.
Hold on, there's no confusion. There's no confusion. I understand.
You know the bad shapes. Okay.
I understand. Me and bad shapes got a crazy relationship so far.
You go way back.
Yeah. We'll see.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't even notice them until right before when everybody was getting all hyped up during the,
my God,
the
that's
pre-show.
Great.
It's really good,
yes.
Right? So we have good shapes and bad shapes emotes now, so we can celebrate appropriately or cry along with
Love it.
djWheat as he gets bad rolls.
Hey, I don't have to be the bad shapes player this week. Maybe
you don't have
bad shapes, award or rather curse goes to someone else every episode.
Maybe
it's like the Mario Party
maybe
star,
Martin.
where it's like you get the bad shape star for the bonus star for getting so many bad shapes.
I guess like Dalen 9 of at least formerly of House Triangulum. I don't know if Dalen is still a Triangulum or not, but Dalen 9 has been doing for months now the mechanical, like the assessment on Court of Swords. So we actually have stats to see who is the luckiest player and who's the unluckiest player. So I guess what we could do theoretically is we could start tracking how many bad or good shapes any given player got over the course of an episode. Most bad shapes.
Let's someone do that, but do not reveal. Don't reveal it till episode 100.
Wheat's gonna get all the bad.
It's not your fault that you're geometrically challenged. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, you can't be blamed for that. It's all right. It's not on you.
Yeah. The rest of us are gonna roll absolute turds now.
We'll see. I mean, I think Mark, you'll be fine as long as you don't try to jump off anything high. Oh,
yeah.
Wait.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? It's
always
fine.
played out really well.
Yeah, just stay away from high places and stairs. High places and staircases. It's dangerous business. Marcus, I wanna start the pre-show with you. Look at you in your house where you live. How's it going? Are you done? Are you moved? It looks kind of done.
No. If I move my camera, I'll probably never be able to get back to that position again. But I would love to just be able to. It's a lot of boxes, as everyone who moves knows. All the bad shit is pretty much out of the way. Like we've gotten through the bad shit. Now the most annoying thing I'm dealing with is like the hot tub doesn't have electricity yet. That's where so I'm in a great spot, right? Adam, did you just roll your eyes?
No, I was thinking about how what a funny statement that is. Cause yes, I get it. Like actually you need electricity to heat the water and run the jets. But generally speaking, electricity and tub don't go together. You want to avoid those. Dude, so I was like,
No, there's all sorts of things that you learn about building a house. But what a crazy adventure it is. And then the moving part was rough. And now it's like, I'll give my everyone probably, if you follow me on Twitter, saw the whole wood floors debacle. The good news is that the flooring company is like, got you. We're gonna take care of it. They're gonna so that's all good. But here's the last 3 days. What was the most anxiety just driving thing is that there's, the way that movers should work is like, hey, we disassemble something. We're going to put it back together for you because we wouldn't do some bullshit like leave all your shit disassembled unless you happen to be this company that I used. So I figured out they've got a strategy. So here's their strategy. Disassemble big item. What they're supposed to do is take the hardware from said disassembled item and put it into what's called the master box. This is box number 1. It's like everyone knows this box should hold all the shit that you will need to kind of get things going and reassemble everything. So we get to the dining room table. They go to the master box. They pull out the screws and they're like, all right, we're good. They're putting the table together and the legs are together. Then they're like, wow, the 8 screws that you need to attach the legs to the table are missing. Like, that sucks. But I'm sure you're going to find them in a box somewhere. And I'm like, well, no, that's not. So the scam is that they separate your hardware. So they're like, well, I don't know. You want us to just fucking stand here while we look through, or you've looked? And I was like, yes, I do. I was like, I would like a chance to find these stupid fucking bolts. And now, so I spent 3 days trying to find these bolts, like every hardware store, Lowe's, and 100%.
Like, you think they separate them on purpose and put them in like another box so they can't put it together?
You know what?
Wow.
They did it to this right here too. They just have all the dowels are there, but you know what? The screws that you actually need to fasten the thing so it doesn't fall over, I still haven't found those. So I had to go out and find those, go to every hardware store. It's that kind of shit drove me nuts, but
yeah,
I found them. We found them.
Yeah.
And,
Operation Nebraska is almost complete. You're almost there. You're getting there. You're home.
Almost. So.
I thought
anyway,
it was interesting.
Fun.
I thought it was interesting when you said you were moving back there, because normally Nebraska is a big exporter of wheat, not an importer.
I know.
So now you're home and everything.
I found out that there is a term for individuals like myself, and I didn't know about this, but I was speaking to someone.
Is that the term?
I hate you, Adam. At the Greater Omaha Chamber of Commerce, and they're like, we'd love to talk to you and maybe do a little video piece because you're a part of the Boomerang Club. And I was like, oh God. Like I'm not sure, like I get it. That makes sense. Yeah, you grew up here and then you go out and then you come home because you loved it so much. But the term is just weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm a Boomerang Club person.
Well, can I before we move on, can I leave you with some, because to make that stupid joke, I had to check. I wanted to be scientifically accurate. To make that stupid joke, I had to check to make sure that Nebraska does indeed export wheat. It does.
Yeah. Yes.
But I learned a few other exciting things. Exciting things about Nebraska. Did you know that the word Nebraska means flat water? Did you know that? Very exciting, the state of Nebraska. But ironically, despite being named flat water, it was also once called the Great American Desert. So that's fun. You live in the Great American Desert. Now take that, Nevada. The Reuben sandwich was invented in Nebraska.
Oh, that's a good one, though.
That's actually a
really good one.
Johnny Carson.
Originally Nebraska's state nickname was the Tree Planter State, but it was changed in 1945 to the Cornhusker State. So you live in the Cornhusker State now, so that's exciting. Good.
We were also bug eaters at one point. The
good.
No, the football team was not the Nebraska Cornhuskers. It was the Nebraska Bug Eaters.
Yeah.
If that doesn't tell you something about your state, nothing.
There's actually not that many bugs.
Lincoln County, Nebraska is the origin of the world's largest woolly mammoth fossil. So if you want to see a giant dead animal, Nebraska's got you covered.
In 4th grade, I did fundraising to save that fucking fossil. So you better come to Nebraska and see it.
It's very challenging because in the 1800s, money was not worth as much, so you had to fundraise extra hard to get that. So Mark, moving right along, I couldn't help but notice I've been following your Twitter, Mark, and I said, first of all, I saw a GIF. I saw a GIF of you fighting yourself with some spatulas, and then I saw a photograph of you lying under a table. Are you okay, Mark?
Yeah,
is everything all right? We're worried about you.
The spatulas thing is fine because that's from the stream I do where we're remaking the audio for Lord of the Rings.
That's right.
So
how is that going? Because I feel like you've been doing that for 1,000 years.
We've been doing it for 6 months, Adam. We've been doing it for 6 months, and we're about an hour and 20 minutes in, and we're doing the extended edition. No, it's awful. It's so
you've only got the extended edition. So you've only got like 18 or 19 more hours to go.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll be done in 4 years. So yeah, we've just got to we've just got to Weathertop. That's why I was banging spatulas, because we were making sword fighting noises.
Weathertop doesn't happen until an hour and 20 minutes into the movie.
Something like that. It's like an hour and 20 or something like
shit.
that in the extended.
That's like the first thing that happens. It's the first interesting thing in Lord of the Rings. Holy crap.
We've spent about 6 months doing all of the audio up until that point. So yeah, that's been quite a lot of fun.
Your Foley project is going to take 1-to-1 the same amount of time it took to make the actual films, I think.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Well, we've not made it.
Really having
we've made it extra hard on ourselves because we're not allowed to watch the movie. We're not allowed to look up the script. We have to make every single noise in the room that we stream from. So it's not like we can use like pre-made music or pre-made sound effects. We've got to make everything. So like every you know, like the amount of coconut horseshoes in this goddamn thing. And it sounds so awful. It's just constantly like all the time.
To be fair, banging coconuts together to make horseshoe sounds is a long time honored English tradition. So you can track that back all the way back to King Arthur. You got that going. So that's good. That's good. So it's coming along.
We're getting there.
Are you still having fun, or has it reached the point where you're like, I just wish that the Tolkien estate would light on fire?
No, we're still having fun, but we're definitely noticing that we go crazier and crazier every episode. So we've just started just going to town with like the dialogue. When we don't remember it, we just make stuff up. And we just lose our minds. We've already done 2 songs in it that we've just added in, which were based around the DuckTales theme, that we've just used the beat from DuckTales. And it's called, it's when Frodo and Sam are having a little montage of them traveling. So we've done that. And we're just losing our minds. Yeah, exactly. Good. And then
so are you when you reach the end of Fellowship of the Rings,
one day
are you going to stop, or is there going to be a conversation where you say, should we do the next movie? Because the Two Towers is a better movie and there's more sword fighting and horse noises, so that could be fun.
There'll be a conversation. That conversation will be, do we want to put ourselves through this? Yes, no. And then we'll stop. So
right. Sure. So you understand how that conversation is going to go.
We'll see how it goes. But I think the plan is to try and get it done for the big charity live streaming thing we do in December. And then we'll do like a viewing where we'll invite everyone in the office to come and watch a live viewing of our madness.
Yeah. So you've got 5 months to finish it. So you're going to come down to the wire.
Huh?
Is it not recorded just yet, or is it like a?
We've been doing it on stream, so we're working on it. So each week we kind of like do a little bit more, but nobody in the office has seen the full thing start to finish yet. So we want to kind of save it up and then just put people to watch 3 hours of insanity.
Do you have a Patreon for that? Because I would pay to watch it.
no Patreon yet, but maybe.
Paywall, I will pay money. We'll watch.
We'll see what we can do. Send you an early preview copy.
It's such a great idea. I love fan like remix projects like this, like the Star Wars they did with like 30 seconds at a
15
time.
seconds.
So they had a whole bunch of different.
That.
Yeah, that was really good.
That so much.
Haven't seen it.
Matt did a section for that. He did a section for the New Hope one. Matt Mercer. He did like a thing with his friend Jack, that's how I found out.
Well, and they're all over the place too. Like some of them are 15 seconds of like studio grade animation, and then it's like a kid in an R2D2 costume and his dad. And it's just like it's the whole thing, and it's 15 seconds at a time from different filmmakers. It's really cool. There's another one. There's a comic for you anime fans out there called Bart Kira, where different comic book artists remake Akira using Simpsons characters. And it is genius. It's really good. Cool. I love a good remix. Those things are super cool. Well, hold on to your sanity, please, for the sake of Far Verona and for High Rollers and for all of your fans everywhere. Please do not lose yourself in the madness that is Fellowship of the Ring. If it means you need to curl up into a fetal ball under a table for a few hours, I just want you to know I support that.
Who doesn't do that? That's my question. Who doesn't? When they need a bit of time, you just put yourself in a little small space and just pretend the world doesn't exist.
Yeah, just crawl into your nest like a filthy goblin and just wait for the spatula and madness to pass. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're dedicating yourself. Yeah, I'm glad you're dedicating yourself to some self-care in the midst of these trying times. Speaking of trying times, Vanna, let's talk about earthquakes. What is your earthquake preparedness plan?
I
spent time under a table
transition.
just last week.
Yeah, right? See? I'm not bad at segues.
I feel you, Mark.
Yep.
Yeah, I have like a what was that? What was the Survivor man's name?
Bear Grylls?
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls. I have a Bear Grylls survival pack, and then I've got a first aid kit, and then I used to have jugs of water in my trunk, but it turns out if you leave jugs of water in your trunk for months and months and months, something bad will happen. So they're not there anymore.
But what is the, because water, if it's just a jug of water, like even if it gets hotter, there has to be something else to make it. Water doesn't go bad. It's not like you have jugs of goat milk in your trunk.
Water does go bad.
Water can't go bad. It's water.
No, it goes bad. It's because it's in a plastic jug. I don't think water goes bad. I think plastic jugs in a hot trunk go bad. I think that's okay.
That's the water.
Bacteria goes what? Yeah.
Something happens. Everything's leaking, and then suddenly everything in your trunk is just so wet. It's just so wet.
Yeah, you don't want to get swamp trunk. That's not good for you.
It's
That's
not.
a bad time.
My grandmother had that one
time.
So you need to reassess. You need to reassess the water part of your earthquake preparedness plan.
Right. I need like a metal barrel, I think, of water would be better.
Yeah. You have a lot of room in your house to put a big 50-gallon drum of water.
This is all trunk ideas.
Oh, okay. So all right. Okay.
This is getting
so
very Mad Max.
I'm
feeling like a real Mad Max vibe.
Thank you so much. It's the hair.
I do remember your deleted scenes from Mad Max. I'm sorry those got cut, Vanna.
It's fine.
I hear they're going to be reintroduced in the collector's edition.
To their credit, I was not taking it very seriously, so that's kind of on me. It's kind of on me.
yeah, that's fair. But yeah, how was that for you? Was it, because I feel like some people were just like, earthquake, and other people were like, we're going to die, God help us all.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Kansas, so it's like I don't think I'd ever experienced an earthquake before moving here. Our whole thing was tornadoes, and you know when those are coming. Like there's sirens. It's all a good time. Everybody puts on we didn't have a basement, so we would just put on bike helmets and sit in the hall with pillows over our stomachs. That was the whole thing. But you knew it was coming.
Wow.
So it was like you had a lot of time to be anxious before your imminent demise. And with earthquakes, it just happens. So it's a much more panicked situation than it is like a prolonged period of anxiety.
Agree.
So,
That's
y'all
a
ever
great
go
way
out
to
in your
put
front
it.
yard to watch the tornado?
I mean, at some point you get a little desensitized to it. You're just like,
there goes another siren. Yeah, I'm sure
see
it's
it
gonna come
over there.
forward to hear it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I've never been hit by a tornado, so.
I feel like, yes, you're here having this conversation with us. So yeah, you've probably never been hit by a tornado before. I assume that if a tornado hits you, you get swept away to another dimension and you have to fight witches and stuff. But
there's
you just
babies
die?
that have been picked up out of cribs and then like set down gently like 40 miles away. Like you don't know what a tornado's up to. It's got plans. And it's not telling you what they are.
I feel like my education has failed me. I did not realize that tornadoes were sentient and had an agenda.
They are. Have you not seen Wizard
Can
of
we
Oz?
go to war with these tornadoes?
Have you not seen Wizard of
Kill
Oz?
everything else.
Adam.
I mean, I have, but I don't remember the tornado having any lines. Like, hey, yo, Dorothy, what's up? I'm a tornado. I'm gonna take you to Oz.
Okay,
Here we go.
But you think it's just a random coincidence that it changed it from a black and white dimension to a colored dimension? That Dorothy just happened to be the piece of the puzzle that was going to solve all the problems of Oz. That was all the tornado, man. That was all the tornado. The tornado's the real hero of the story.
My understanding of Wizard of Oz was that she did a bunch of drugs before the movie started and then passed out and then woke up and was like, I had a dream.
Alone. You leave Judy alone. Leave Judy alone.
I'm really excited about the combination of you shrieking at me about Judy Garland while wearing that wig. It's pretty fantastic. I'm having a moment right now. It's like I've accidentally angered Shirley Temple and she's coming after me with a knife. Do not let this happen. But to be fair, my disaster preparedness plan is just I have updated my will recently. I've accepted my demise. If there's an earthquake and I'm crushed to death, so be it. That's it. You can't fight an earthquake. I've seen Escape from LA. I know how it goes. I don't want to live in that world.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Russell, you can have all my stuff. Good luck.
Snake Plissken.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll happen so fast you won't even know.
Well, speaking about world-ending natural disasters, Elspeth, how's Path of Exile going?
Path of Exile is great. Same old. You know, I was playing through it. And I'm just like, yeah, this is one of those really good games to just kind of like, you know, mess around in and piss off people in chat because I'm doing the wrong thing. So,
there's such a special feeling. Such a special feeling of playing a game wrong on stream.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. I actually just got to Sarn for the first time. So I met a demon dude. He has like part of his face burned off or something.
Yeah.
And then I think there's some chick that's blonde hair and she wanted me to look for her brother, like Tolman or something like that. And he got tortured.
In the crematorium.
Right. Yeah, spoilers. He gets tortured. But yeah, it's good. It's really good, but I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like I'm going through it like, all right, so skill tree, this looks good. People are like, no, don't put that there. I'm like, but this looks good, right? Like this leeches life. And they're like, yeah, but it also sucks your health. And guess what? You'll die from no health regen. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. So there's a lot that goes into it that I don't know if I possess like the proper brain power for it. So
yeah.
It's tough.
Which is
It's
you know,
tough.
which is fine. You're still toughing it out. You're trying.
We're
You're trolling
toughing it out.
chat, and
I
that's
enjoy it.
what
I don't
matters.
normally play games like this, so I'm just like, yeah, screw it. I'm playing.
Well,
Path of Exile.
I don't want you to have to only talk about Path of Exile. I want to ask you about how the hell was that Proto Men show? How was that?
Oh my God, it was so good. So can I gush about Proto Men for a second? They're an amazing
Please.
band.
Have you seen them? Have you seen them live before?
Multiple times. This is my 6th time seeing them live.
Okay. All
So
right.
they're amazing. I still got the Lincoln Hall stamp on my wrist because I'm a gremlin that didn't take a shower. So I got back last time just like, man, that was amazing because the Proto Men always put on a really good show. If y'all have never heard of them, please look them up. They're a fantastic band. Their energy is just through the roof. They're very like 80s retro sound, kind of just they're hype.
I
They're
feel
very
like
hype.
you're
And they all
missing
wear
like
face
for this
paint, and it's dope.
audience. For this audience, you're missing the big selling point is that they're a band that plays Mega Man rock operas.
Yes,
Mhm.
Mega Man rock opera.
That's
that
You buried the lead on that
the
one
main
pretty
selling point,
hard.
isn't it? I totally missed that. I'm like,
it's
their
kind of
energy's
the main
amazing.
thing.
Yeah. So what they do is everything is a story with them. So when you're watching them, the guy puts on like the actual Proto Man like helmet. The lead singer Raul, he actually puts it on and he tells the story. And they've got hype man named Kilroy who also wears a mask, and they all wear silver face paint. And they're amazing singers, and everyone's super super talented. So you got to go see them if you ever have the chance. Please go see Proto Men. Like they're so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
And they're really interactive too. They're one of those shows where you're just like, oh yeah.
Do you know who opened for them for this tour?
So they actually opened for Tupperware Remix Party. So that was who else was playing. Yeah, and I'd never heard Twerp before, so I'm just like, okay, you know, I can get down with this. I enjoyed them as well. But I was there for the Proto Men. So yeah. But it was all around really good sets. And they also, since they did a song together, Twerp and Proto Men, they saved it for the end. And they were like, we're gonna bring out our good friends the Proto Men. And we're like, wow! My friends are like losing our shit. It's so good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It was dope.
I used to go out to see like live bands like a lot when I was a teenager or in my early 20s. I'm so cranky and old now, and I hate being around other human beings, so I don't do it very often. But when the Proto Men roll through town, like there are a few bands like them and Perturbator and a couple other bands where I'm like, all right, I'll get off my old cranky ass. I'll go downtown, go to a show, stay up till 1 a.m. and look at a band. But it was good.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit, they're awesome.
If also we rent a van. My friends and I we rent a van, a giant van, and we call it the Proto Van. So we have to like we sing Proto Man songs on the way there, and we chant and we clap and everything. So we're like the like the hype people that get in there, and every time we see we're like cheering and shit. They probably are like, and we also chant teeth for some reason. I can't remember why, but we're just like teeth. And so they're like, those are the teeth people, probably.
Right.
Like every time they come next to Indiana, anywhere close to Indiana, we talk about teeth. Yeah, I don't know what that's my proto van story, and we spray painted it, and it was dope. So it's fun.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm really glad. It's nice to have like a thing like that where you and your friends can all get together and you can go.
And it's just
and you can enjoy yourself.
Exactly. It's a good time.
You can shout
it's a good
teeth.
time. Teeth.
Because why not?
No.
Do you think they know? Like, have you ever had a conversation with anyone in the band, like at the merch booth after, and be like, I was the one yelling teeth at you, and they were like, why? And you're like, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Like, or do they just not know? I've never had a specific
conversation with them about teeth, but I did purchase their merch once, and I was just like, I didn't actually say anything about teeth, because who would? Who wants to be that guy that's like, I was chatting teeth? Maybe my friends would. I wouldn't.
I know
wouldn't
you. I'm the teeth guy.
I'm the teeth guy.
I feel like,
so I'm just like, I don't know. I always make a point to purchase merch, even if like I can't do it at the show. I'm like, I'm gonna get some afterwards. So I have a lot of Proto Men t-shirts, but they're so good. Recommend.
Yeah.
2 thumbs way up.
Yeah. I wanted to give you a chance to gush about that because it seemed like you were having a great time.
Thank you.
Well, cool. Well, we have a recap of last week's episode for anybody who missed it or just needs a little reminder. So, JP, if you would, the recap, please. Previously on Far Verona. Amidst the fiery advance of Mandate Reclamation, we're introduced to a band of synths hiding out from Imperial hunters. They've stopped this abandoned agricultural facility to tend to one of their comrades, who has just died of their wounds. Yasna Solari, a former hunter of her own people, stands watch, armed and ready for the violence that is certain to come. Tending to the dead, Countess Eridanis Autumn Vasca's attention seems to be somewhere else. Her thoughts linger on her sister. Johnny Collins, an old model artificial entity, stands out among his peers, trying to help despite his obsolescence. Finally, Haley Sky, a synth locked eternally in the body of an 8-year-old girl, studies a map she's made of the facility, her tactical assessment writ in crayon. The moment is broken by the high whine of a Crux hunter shuttle breaking the atmosphere above the farm. Johnny and Martin, a labor synth, butt heads over how to keep Haley safe. The shuttle lands in the courtyard, and while Yasna and Martin argue violently inside, Johnny is shot by an accidental discharge. Haley slips outside, and the Crux team breaches the door. Yasna holds them back as Autumn uses her psychic powers to knock a hunter unconscious, then finds a ladder to the roof, leading a panicky Catherine away from danger. Outside, Haley finds a set of ancient pesticide drones and begins to hatch a plan. As the Crux team attempts to push inside, Hadil, their final and up to this point unaccounted for companion, is being seen arrested by a second team. Haley slips through an open port and into the drone storage facility. Autumn watches from the roof. The fire continues to crawl closer.
That's dope.
There you go. JP, we're back. I know we're back. I was pausing for effect, you ass. Come on, I'm being dramatic. All right. So that's where we're at. I've reset the story points, so y'all have 4 and I have 1 to begin with. And and as we said, we're in a bad way. So one of the Crux teams is out in the commons, and we see them leading Hadil, one of your companions, towards the shuttle. Everyone else is sort of spread out, and we ended the last episode camera tight in on the roof of the comm center, wind blowing dust around, and Autumn Vasca up on the roof as adorable little demon Haley Sky slips into the drone storage and out of sight. But I want to start us off inside because there's violence and punching and guns. So there's a bit of a fracas in the entrance to the comm center. There was a Crux team member on the floor, unconscious. There's no one trying to drag him out. And Yasna, you are more or less the only one still in the comm center, as Johnny is at the bottom of a set of metal rungs leading up to the roof. So we'll start right in on things with Yasna. So Yasna, you're in this room. There's a crux. You're tangling with this crux guy. He's got his bullpup rifle. What do you want to do? How does this episode begin? We start with a shot of you ready to act.
So just so I'm clear, we had a tussle, but we are not like actively grappling, correct?
You could actively grapple. I believe
No.
you don't want that. Okay.
What ultimately what I would like to do is seeing the rest of the of our little band of merry synths have left, have gone and up the ladder. That's what I'm going to do next. But I think if you really want to start it, you can have like the camera swoop and zoom in on Yasna, who is just like very visibly frustrated from the intense amount of failure that had accumulated over the past 15 minutes between missed shots and not being able to handle Martin. And it's that, it's like that exact moment where it's like, this is where I need to be performing at the top of my ability. So, maybe an odd sense of disappointment and failure, and almost the fact that like I have to retreat.
And how does that express itself on Yasna's face? Like, do we see, how do you react to this frustration that things are not going the way you want?
It probably wouldn't be like this, like what you would necessarily expect to see, but maybe like Yasna, who has a little bit paler complexion, like you notice her cheeks are like flush, even when someone just gets really angry and their face will start to flush out a little bit, like her face is kind of flushed and there's like a lot more sort of rosiness in it. But maybe it's not gritting teeth or there's not a vein popping out, but like you can just tell is flush and almost like a stillness to what is going on.
Okay. All right. So we see, and you see yourself, you see your own frustration reflected back at you in the mirrored mask of the crux officer in front of you. What do you do? You know that Martin is in the room somewhere. A quick glance in your peripheral, you see Johnny at the bottom of the ladder. You know that Autumn and Christine have gone upstairs. You have no idea where Haley is. What do you do? You get a little glance around, and then you don't do something. This guy's gonna probably try to take you down.
Yeah. So I think I would just kind of like step back to the ladder to where Johnny is, and not like a turnaround, but kind of taking steps back and being ready, and then you'd hear Yasna like Martine, and just kind of like yelling out as well, and all of the chaos.
Yeah. And Martin has a gun. So when you shout for him, I think he snaps out of whatever like panic that he was in before when he accidentally shot Johnny. Realizes, oh shit, I have a gun. This is what the gun is for, and he brings it up and he takes a shot at the crux guy nearest to you. So let's see how that goes. There's a bang. You hear it, Autumn. You hear it downstairs, Johnny. You see a flash as the gun goes off. And let's take a look. He's at short range, so it's a pretty easy shot to make. But he's not particularly skilled at this. So let's see what happens. And as long as he doesn't critically fail, which I don't think he can do, he won't accidentally hit you. Okay, he doesn't hit. He fires at the officer. The shot goes past him. Maybe it blows out a window. We see like a window gets a dent in it. There's the ding of the bullet hitting the window, and it buys you a second. The crux officer like turns, and suddenly there's this other threat with a gun that he hadn't copped to before, and he buys you a second to do something. what are you gonna do?
I think I'm going to make sure that then I am stepping back the ladder, probably assist Johnny up, like with the intention of we're getting out of here.
Okay, so you're gonna fall back to the ladder.
Yeah.
Okay, so we see you turn. We follow your gaze. We cut to Johnny at the bottom of the ladder. Johnny, what are you doing? Are you climbing upstairs?
Yeah, yeah. Johnny is for sure just, he's kind of collecting himself right now. It's odd because he's kind of like looking at himself like, I guess I'm okay. Like he got shot,
Yeah.
but it's really not a big deal. But it always kind of freaks him out a little bit whenever he gets an injury because it's just like, I really am like just not human. So
right, I was gonna say, so you were mercifully not programmed to feel pain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
One of those obviously older synths that was just not meant to experience really like human feelings, and that includes pain. So
Yeah.
So he sees Yasna and kind of reaches out to her. Come on, let's head up here. I think they're all up there now. So he just kind of starts like climbing the rungs.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you start climbing, Yasna. You're gonna follow. And I think this crux dude is gonna shoot back. And I think he's gonna fire. He wouldn't. I think you're trying to get away, but there's a guy with a gun. I think he's gonna shoot at Martin, which is like a win-win for everybody. So let's see how that goes.
Sorry
I
about
mean,
you,
honestly, like,
That's
he's a short
true.
range. He's in a laser rifle, Martin. All right, Martin. Here we go. No, Martin is. Martin takes a hit. Martin takes 10,
Jesus Christ.
10 damage. So Martin is taking. It's a laser rifle. It deals 8 damage. Deals 8 damage plus the number of successes minus Martin's 4 brawn. So 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's a crit though. This is a critical hit because
There's 4 advantages.
The crit on a laser rifle is 3, and they got 4 advantages. Our first critical hit. Look, and it couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Suck it, Martin.
Suck it, Martin, indeed. So Martin takes a laser blast to the chest.
Nice.
Yeah, let's see how that goes. So when you take a critical hit, or you take a critical injury, it's a D100, and then
a big old chunk.
Let's see, do we add
stuff?
Yeah, do we add anything else? I don't think so
you
on this
do.
person. Oh, plus 10 for each additional time that it's been triggered. So just plus nothing this time. All right, high numbers are bad for Martin here. We got a 93 Martin, honey. Okay, cool. This result on the critical injury table is called At the Brink. Martin will now suffer 2 strain every time he attempts to perform any action until he is healed. This is a bad hit for Martin. So Yasna, you're like, we gotta go, Martin, and he fires. You turn. Johnny starts climbing. You start moving towards the ladder. You hear the tearing sound of laser fire, and you hear Martin scream in pain. There is a sizzling noise as his synthetic flesh melts. I think he gets shot probably like in the chest, and then the beam goes up out his shoulder. He screams and grabs his arm and falls backwards. Yasna, are you gonna ditch him, or are you gonna turn around to help Martin out?
Would I only heard this. Yes.
Yeah, I mean the room lit up with the beam, and then there was the sizzling sound and the scream, and yeah, I mean you're near it. The beam was like right past you. You're in a small room.
But did I see Martin get hit? Would I know the extent of the damage?
I mean, I think your eyes would have just flicked to him. Yeah. You don't have plausible deniability in this case. You can't say I didn't see him get hit.
I guess what I'm trying to assess is whether or not I can tell if this damage is worth.
Oh yeah, he's fucked up pretty bad. He's not dead. Like he's screaming for help. So
So I think
Since to have like normal blood.
in that moment, there's
Yes.
the intense strategical calculations that begin in terms of like we have five people left, and who can we take, and through the head is just like all of this. What is the worth, and maybe like Yasna's like got her 1,000-yard stare, and then suddenly just snaps to and goes up the ladder, knowing that this one sin's life isn't worth the other 5.
So the screams of pain and helplessness, right, Martin, being like, "Ah, God, help me, fuck," turns to screams of rage as you abandon him and start climbing the ladder, and he just screams like, "Yazzie, you bitch, get back here!" You can still hear gunfire, and you hear the sounds of Crux boots as they rush the room. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Haley, you are in a cramped, dark place. You clamber down into the drone storage facility, and I think what this is, it's not meant for humans or synth or anybody to be in here, right? It's a tube with these cars, essentially car-sized drones, and I think of these drones as being mostly pesticide tanks with 4 like a cross beam of like hover projectors on the end of them. So they would lift off, they'd make a pattern over the field, and they would basically just spray this stuff. So there's a hose kind of attachment, these big tanks, and there's 4 of them stacked on top of each other inside this thing that you've now crawled into, and they're all like on a rack underneath you. And it's dark and it's hot and it's greasy in here, and I think the chances of you having already gotten dirt on yourself are very high.
Good thing I auto clean. So
yeah, you're filth resistant. So yeah, and I wonder, what does that look like? Like, we see you, I think this would be a cool opportunity to see that in action. Like, we see you squirm down into this thing and then look up, and we get a close up of your face, and you got like a big smear of grease on your face. How does your like synthetic skin repel? Like, does it just like slide off of you? Is it like micro vibrations? Like, what happens? What do we see?
I feel like I absorb it.
Oh, it just like sinks into your skin?
Yeah.
Weird.
I think I absorb it, and it probably has to come out in some way at some point, but I do that in my private time. So
yeah, weird. So your skin just absorbs this like this machine grease, and then later you can just exude it.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Small cubes.
Yeah.
It's just like
You
she
just have to
throws
clean-
up like a filth pearl at some point when she's alone.
Oh,
You have a lint trap that needs like cleaning. You just slide it out of your
She's
rib
just a
cage, just tap it
vacuum.
off.
She's just a
Yeah.
It's like
oh,
a Roomba.
I see. So you're the house Cygnus branch that made you was originally part of the like the janitorial squad of the ships that populated the universe.
Obviously.
Okay, good.
Obviously.
Perfect. I love it. Okay, so you're crammed down in here. What are you gonna do?
Well, the computer thing did not work out quite well last time.
Yeah,
So
you wanted to get direct access.
Yeah, her intention is to take a more manual approach, because her like coordination with her hands is much more efficient than her knowledge of computers. So I think she's gonna make an effort for that.
Yeah, there is likely the same like chassis, the same growth profile they use to make you. They also use to make like little factory workers for crawling around in tight spaces like this. So yeah, that makes sense. You're gonna crawl in there, and yeah, the nearest drone is, you're right, basically right on top of it, and it has a closed panel with some little like bolts or whatever holding it shut, and it has the like do not step warning and the like warning label on it. And it's all like eroded by the constant sandstorms in this area, so it's all worn down, but you can see the panel on the top. So to get direct access to it, you need to crack that panel open and then start dicking around in the machinery inside.
Okay, well then I'll make a crack at the panel.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's take a look at the skills list here for opening this panel. I think probably mechanics, or if you want to just brute force it and jam your fingers in there and rip it off, that's also an option.
Yeah, I don't have any points in mechanics, so I might just try and brute force it, or if there's a way I can use my coordination skill to do it.
That's more like
'Cause I have-
hand-eye
I have,
coordination.
Yeah, I have a knife. I could use it for leverage to get it open.
Oh yeah, if you got a knife, totally. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's just a question of time then if you just want to jam your knife in there and
Oh, sure,
peel
yeah.
it open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sure. So that'll just take you a minute. You get the edge of the knife in there and you just wedge it under the screws, like pop the thing open. And yeah, underneath there is a little kind of dirty LCD, like a monitor. There's a bunch of wires connecting the thing, and it's currently on, but in standby mode. So there's a little like ASCII, Yukian agricultural concern logo that's just sort of rotating in standby mode, and then like a little mini keyboard.
Is there a way that I can do like a manual override?
Yes. Yeah. So you have two options, right? You can make you can try to access the OS of the drone itself by typing away the computer, or you can start cutting wires and try to hotwire the thing, basically. One
That
is
would be okay. Sorry.
Yeah, one is mechanical, and the other is
One
computers.
Okay, I did take a point in computers with my earned experience, so let's do that.
Nice.
We can also spend a story point if you feel like you need to make, if it's a clutch roll, Vanna, you can boost your
Right, you
one
can
hit die with a
upgrade
story
it.
point. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
that's
do
a great
that.
point.
Just
Thank
because,
you.
I worry about you not getting that one.
That's
So
fair.
it's going to be a computer. Yeah, it's a computer's roll. The difficulty is going to be one, so just one purple because you have like direct access now instead of having to go
Mhm.
through the drone controller. So yeah, add one purple to your pool and add one upgrade to your pool before you roll your computer skill.
Oh,
Okay.
that'd be harder than that.
Good shapes, good shapes, good shapes.
Good shapes. Let's do it. Hey, those are great shapes. All right.
Woo!
So there is a
Yay.
threat. There's a threat, but two successes. So you get what you needed. You get the success, and you're good to go. Now let me just check. I just want to check the roll to make sure we're doing all this stuff right. Give me a half second. So you have it should be your intelligence and your skill. Yeah, looks like. Because there's a lot of green dice in this pool. It should be computers, though your character sheet is different than the last time I saw you. Yeah, there's extra green dice in the pools. There was in mine too. I think that the GM pool has extra dice in it, so we'll just go with the roll as is. But I've cleared the pool for next time. You still get your success. Everything is fine. So mark a point of strain. Take a point of strain, and and you get access. You hit some buttons, and the computer doesn't require password access if you're accessing the drone directly, and it turns on, and you now have access to it. What do you want this drone to do?
What I want is that if I get manual access, like a steering wheel of some sort slides out, like it's like it like pops out, and then maybe like the handlebars like flip out, and it's some sort of like half donut.
It's definitely not meant to be ridden on. That's not its purpose. So there wouldn't be a steering wheel. But I think what happens is the little microcomputer that's in there, you pull it out and it's got joysticks on it, right? So you can just remove the control module, and then you'd have thumbsticks to control it manually.
Okay. Then I wanna use that to lift it out of the chamber and towards the roof where the rest of the party is at.
Okay, a quick glance up and you see that the silo is still mostly shut where you squeezed in. So there's no room for it to go out yet. You have control over it. You've got its little command box. So you look up and you can see the rust-colored sky through this slit in the thing where you slipped in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So we cut back to upstairs. Johnny and Yasna, you have joined Autumn and either Catherine or Christine, depending on what you want to call her. So you join Christine and Autumn and Haley. Haley's nowhere to be seen when you and Johnny come up on the roof. But now everyone's on the roof. Are you making any effort to stay like hidden, or are we all just standing up there getting blown around by the wind?
Well, they've seen us like climbing up the ladder, right? Like
the ones inside. Yes. Yeah.
The other question is when Yasna and Johnny come up, do they like shut the hatch? Because Autumn doesn't know about Martin, and I don't think neither does Christina or Catherine, whatever we're calling it.
Yasna, you're the last one up.
Yeah.
Well, have they they haven't like jumped, right?
No, we're still on the
No, they're
roof,
just standing. They're just standing up on the roof,
waiting to see.
blowing around.
Martin is gone. We must go.
What? Like, Autumn's just
Yeah.
like looking at you, terrified.
He died. We saw it happen. He's dead.
He was shot.
I just point over the side, like, hey, Haley's in she's in the silo. Drones, like, completely in shot, like, just yeah.
What do you mean
Stunned.
she's out there by herself?
I just like nod and point down towards the drone storage.
Oh God. Well, I bet she knows what she's doing. At least, probably.
I'll look at Yasna and just say, "There's a Crux shuttle, but we need to get out of here." And then I'll point towards the oncoming storm, like, that thing's getting real close. Like,
All right. Yeah, I look over. Obviously, I can see it at this point, right? We're on top of the comm center.
When you look around, Yasna, now that you've got some viewpoint up here, you can see that yeah, the storm that Autumn is referring to is the heat storm from the burning of the dead fields. It's moving towards you in a wave, and there are little like dust devils of fire like spinning up off of it. Tiny little fire tornadoes, which if Haley could see them, she wouldn't give a shit about. But there are swirling clouds of fire like this. It's moving ahead of these reclaimers, and yeah, they're moving pretty fast. And then down in the commons, you can see the carbon fiber looking like gray shuttle. You see this unit. You see Unit C moving Hadil across the field, and when you look. She looks up and she sees you, like she's got her hands on her head. She sees you, and then she stumbles, like she's tripped over something. And as she does, she rolls, grabs the sidearm out of one of the Crux guy's holsters, shoots him in the chest. He falls over backwards. They start panicking and shooting at her, and then she runs for it, and she's headed for the mess hall. So Hadil breaks free and runs off that way.
Great.
Yeah, she's drawing Unit C away from the commons.
Yeah. So I think we must trust Haley, and we must use this distraction and get off the comm center.
Yeah, yes, I agree. She's smart. She knows what she's doing. She's got a big brain.
So I mean, cut back to Haley. What are you gonna do? The silo is closed.
I imagine there's something in the computer that with the manual override would be able to open the silo doors.
That could be the case. Yes. My understanding was that the computer that controls the silo and the computer that controls the drone is different. But if you have another idea for how that story might go,
it would just make sense to me if they had communication between them.
They're separate. I envision them being separate. I envision them being separate subsystems, right? Like you have access to the drone's controls, but you don't have the garage door opener. But again, you could, if you want that to be the case, you can just spend a story point and be like, "Oh yeah, here's the garage door button," and hit it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right.
She's just so small. Okay. I don't think she can brute force it open.
Yeah, probably, right. All right. So you hit you just find the button, boop, you hit it, and then there's a groaning sound. You hear it outside too, this metal like grinding, and the thing Iris is open. There's a hiss as one of the drone storage units open. Now it's dark underneath, and there's wind kind of blowing sand across the top of it. What are you gonna do now, Haley? The sunlight is coming in, filtered by the sandstorm. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to attempt to pilot the drone over to the rooftop. Where the rest
are you going to attempt to pilot the drone while you are standing on it?
I'm going to be straddling it.
Are you going to surf? Yeah, you're going to
sitting on it.
Okay.
I'm going to be sitting. I'm not crazy. Crazy. Yeah.
We'll see about that. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So you hit a couple of buttons on the panel. You start up the activation sequence. The clamp arm that's holding it here snaps open, and everybody from above, you can hear the low hum of the drone turning on, of its hover units powering up, and there's a faint blue glow from inside the storage unit. So I think that as that happens, Unit B, or what's left of them, comes outside. You see them leave the comm center, dragging maybe Martin's body. He's smoking and he's unconscious. They're dragging him out of the comm center. Unit C has run into the mess hall after Hadil, and there's like gunfire happening from there. And then Haley, do you rise up out of the drone storage on the back of this drone, like the kid from the Never-Ending Story?
The best movie ever made.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So the drone starts to lift you up from below, and everybody, you see the first of the drones. It's almost exactly the same size around, this little car-sized drone, like hover up out of the thing, and then clinging to its back, wind swept. You see Haley. Unit B is unsurprisingly startled by the sudden arrival of this drone. Are you trying to stay hidden, Haley? Like, do you want to like?
No.
Are you no? So you're just like sitting on. All right, so they see you. Okay.
I mean, she's small,
so, like,
and she's probably somewhere between sitting and laying down. She is the drone Khaleesi.
They turn, and they're like, "She's up there!" And then immediately just open fire on the drone, just firing laser fire at your new pet. So let's see how that goes. They're not shooting at you; they're shooting at the drone. So that's
Is there a chance that they like hit the pesticide line and just douse themselves?
Yeah, let's see. They're gonna fire at it first.
And how badly they fuck up, I guess.
So
they get a lot of threat, maybe. We could probably try and do that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on whether you consider that to be good or bad for them. So let me take stock of how many of them there are. So we lost one to biopsionics. The other guy that's dragging him is not going to fire. So there's two of them. So it's a regular shot with one upgrade. Okay, let's see how this goes. So they just start unloading with these laser rifles. Two of them just start shooting at you. Because the only thing worse than an illegal synth is an illegal synth that can fly. So they have, let's see, ranged, heavy, and they have one upgrade because there's two of them. And they're shooting at medium range. Okay, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
Survey says
A lot of threat, though.
Okay, a lot of threat. It's just bad for them, but we got 2 successes, so they hit the drone. So the drone's gonna take 8, 9, 10 damage minus its innate armor. You don't know how tough this drone is off the top of your head, but you know that it has just taken some laser fire.
Do I have any chance to like dodge that or make a maneuver
it doesn't hit,
to avoid?
It doesn't hit you.
Okay.
I don't know that like you could make maneuvering checks to try to like juke back and forth.
Yeah.
But the drone's still under control. You see a little like warning like damage, and it shows that there's been hull damage to the drone. It's still in operable condition, but it does buck slightly. Can you make a roll? I need to see if you can stay holding on to the back of this thing. So this will be a coordination roll. And it took 10 damage. Let's call it a 2 difficulty dice. Make sure you clear that upgrade from your pool. So two purple coordination check. You just need 1 success to hang on. There you go. You got 2.
Yeah.
So many good shapes today. So you cling to the back of this thing as it. And I don't know, we get the reaction shot from Johnny. So Johnny, you're up on the roof. What is your reaction to, you see Haley on the back of this drone. The drone gets peppered with laser fire. It like bucks sideways hard, tips sideways. You see Haley clinging to it. What do we see? What is your reaction to all of this?
That's it.
He's losing his shit. He's kind of speechless right now because his friend is getting blasted right now with laser or so it seems to him. So he's thinking of a way now to like somehow go save her. Maybe not really in the right state of mind. And so he turns to Autumn and says, We gotta do something. We can't just stand up here. We gotta go help her. Do you have any weapons?
I'm a doctor. I just like look at Johnny like, what?
Damn it,
Doctor,
Johnny.
not a soldier.
I'm a biopsionicist, not a telekineticist.
We gotta go do something.
Vanna, to answer your question from before, they did on this shot, they did get three disadvantage. So if you'd like to spend that threat to say that they hit a pesticide line and they get sprayed by it, and that like stops them from taking action or like forces them to back off, that's absolutely a thing that we could say happens.
Yeah, I would like that. Like like a hose comes unhinged or something, and it just sort of sprays pesticide down on.
I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. The pesticide that they use is flammable, and these are laser weapons. So they fire, the laser cuts a hose. No, you're fine, because it cuts the hose. The pressure in the tank ejects the pesticide, because it's pressurized pesticide, right? So it ejects the thing through the severing in the hose. It's spraying out of the tank now, and it lights on fire. So the bottom of the drone has got a hose flailing around, shooting fire out of it. And the crux hunters are like, fall back, and they run back. They run back towards they start falling back towards the shuttle to get out of this like flame spray. So you've bought your whole team a minute of time while they try to avoid getting burnt to death.
Johnny sees that Haley is on fire and just he's not sure if she's on fire, but just at this point he's like he's slowly like sparks are like flying out of his like wound, and he's just like
This is the distraction we needed. And immediately, how tall is the comm center?
It is like a story and a half, like 2 stories. It doesn't have a full second story, but it has to be high enough to just like put the dish up there. Right. It's not as tall as like the grain silo or whatever.
All right. Well, there's got to be
I also like that Haley, your mount has a breath weapon now, so we're just going all in on the dragon riding type thing. Yeah. So Yasna, yeah, you can Droneris. So you can see this. You could theoretically, if Haley were to bring the drone a little closer, you could leap from here to it. But the drone storage itself is quite low.
Okay.
Which I believe was the original plan, was jumping to the drone and then getting to the ground from there.
Using the zone.
Certainly.
But the drone is now on fire. That was not part
of the drone itself isn't on fire. The drone is shooting fire out of the end of a severed hose.
Okay, that's fine.
Is there some sort of cabling or something that would, coming from the satellite that I could climb down? There's certainly jumping
so you
isn't the only option.
Correct. You could probably, at this point, with a distraction, instead of jumping off the roof of the comm center, you could climb down the side of the building using there's cabling that's housed in abrasion resistant casing. So you could slide down that or whatever.
Okay. I think I would turn to the team and say, we must get to the ground and just start heading over and climbing down, trying to be the first one down so I can help in case someone falls.
Johnny follows suit.
All right, cool. Anybody who wants to climb down the side of the comm center, make a difficulty 1 athletics.
So 1 purple.
Yeah, 1 purple. It's regular athletics.
1 purple athletics.
Yeah. Oof, Johnny. Everybody's doing so good now.
Good shape, baby.
Well, so many.
That's my first good shape ever.
Woo! Yes!
Congratulations.
That's that Nebraska good luck, dude.
Oh,
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I guess Autumn would go and seeing Yasna climb down. That is a much smarter idea than her plan of jumping to the drone. So
Yes, especially now the drone is squirting fire everywhere.
Is Catherine going to climb down on her own volition, or does she need like somebody to like?
Yeah.
push her,
If
like, over there and
if
stuff?
everybody's getting down off the roof, she is also going to.
Okay, all right. Well, I've got a brawn of 1, so I actually did it. Oh no, I didn't roll it.
You got to
Why
roll.
doesn't
Got to
it
roll a
my-
purple though.
Oh,
It doesn't roll it for some reason every time I do it.
Doesn't like rolling your purple.
There we go. There's the bad
There it
shape.
is.
I knew they
There's
were
the
coming
bad shape.
with my 1 brawn.
Okay, so what's the order in which the climbing happens? Is it Yasna, Johnny, and then Autumn,
and then I
or is
think-
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So here's what
Yasna and
happens.
Johnny rolled
It's not
first
that
as
bad
well.
for you. You don't get hurt or anything. You get onto the thing, but all of this weight was not intended to be put on here. So Yasna put some weight on it. Big Metal Johnny put some weight on it. When you get to the ground, or before you get to the ground, it bends and snaps off. And this thing like comes down, and you look up and you see poor lonely Catherine or Christine standing up on the roof, looking down at you like, well, now what do I do? And maybe she says that. She's like, I can't climb down. It's broken.
In a
The three of
panic,
you are
I
down on
would
the ground.
Can Johnny use his great athletics roll to climb back up the building and just carry her down?
So walk me through this. You want to climb up the side of the building.
Yes.
That's
so
fine. You
Since
just
he's
by
so
like
since he's
grabbing
so
the
strong,
wall.
he does like his own like what are those things where it's like you use them to pick ice or whatever?
pitons.
Yeah.
Pitons
Yeah,
or
you know what I'm
pitons
talking
or
about?
whatever?
The hell? Yeah. So
Oh, so you
it's-
use
it's-
your ice
yeah.
pick like fingers? I don't.
He literally just climbs up the building like that and like grabs her with one hand and like just kind of goes down the rest of the way like that. Yeah.
Yes, you could
ice pick
certainly.
things.
You can try that. Yes, you definitely can. You can King Kong your way out of this situation.
That's what he would like
so
to do.
You look up and you start doing the calculations on like climbing up there. Meanwhile, though, Haley, you get the drone back under control. You're clinging to its back, holding onto the controller. Fire is still spraying out of it. The controller is warning you like pesticide supply dwindling. Like it's going down quite quickly. What are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna try and get over to where I see them they've come down on the ground now. So I think what I'm gonna try and do.
Yeah, most of them are over here. They're looking
Yeah.
up. You have Christine up on the roof, like wringing her hands, like, oh God, what am I gonna do? And then Unit B, your flame distraction is about to be over. They're gonna open fire on you again unless you like get out of the way or do something else. Like the time that you bought yourself is gonna run out.
Right. I think I'm gonna try and perform a dismount.
Okay.
Close to the rest of the party. But I'm gonna try and hang on
so
to the controller.
Right. So let me make sure that I understand your intent before I get you to roll. Do you want to dip close enough to the ground that you can jump off without hurting yourself, but also keep the thing fire pointed away from you so you don't accidentally spray all your friends with burning pesticide?
Mhm. Yeah, I have a pretty decent agility, so I think I could give it a little extra room and still, like, I'm thinking like a gymnastics style dismount would be in her wheelhouse.
Yes, I agree. You have to have that
Drone
dexterity.
kata. Oh my God.
You have to have
I
that
love it.
dexterity for dance numbers, right? Like
Right.
the tap dancing and the what have you. All right, so we'll get to that. First, you got to make a driving check to set yourself up for the next roll. I am going to. I'm going.
Were we doing
gonna go-
coordination though last time for me
So it'll-
controlling
It'll be driving first to maneuver yourself into the right position to then safely dismount. Coordination will be the dismount. So I think this shouldn't be too hard. It'll be put one purple, but I'm going to spend one of my story points to upgrade it because I would love it if you critically failed this roll. So one purple and one upgrade on the right hand side, and then make a driving check.
I'm not seeing driving.
Or piloting, whatever that skill is called. Let me look. There's too many.
There is a
Driving and
driving.
piloting.
There's driving and piloting.
is
Okay,
both.
this is piloting then. Yeah, this would be piloting in that case.
Oh, I see it.
If you don't have it, if you don't have it, it's just your agility.
Okay.
So it should, I think, it should be one red. Aced it. You make this shit look great.
She's so good. She's the best.
Insane.
3 successes and an advantage. You do it not only successfully, but fantastically, and you make it look good. So if you want to, with that advantage, you can regain a recover a stress or a strain rather. You can recover a strain with that advantage. So yeah, you just glide it in there. Flames still gushing out of the side of it. Right, spiral of fire shooting out the side. You get right into the perfect position. Now make a difficulty 1, no upgrade, no downgrade, coordination roll to just like hop off.
I want to do a flip.
I mean,
Okay, you got 4 advantage. You could totally do a flip. What does this look like? It's perfect.
Yeah, I want to do
perfect
like
dismount.
I want to without. I've got both my hands on the controller, so I want to like kind of wobble myself up to a standing position and then do a backflip off of the drone, and then it kind of, there's also a corkscrew at the end before I I land.
And of course, because of like the dress that you're wearing, right? It flares out in a little like umbrella as you land. Like it looks perfect.
It's some Fantasia shit for sure.
Anybody that's looking in Haley's direction, sees a perfectly executed back tuck with a twist off of the drone. While you have like the pyrotechnics of the drone shooting out towards the commons. Okay, cool. You dismount and you have control over the drone. Johnny, the climbing up to the comm center is not a problem. It's the climbing down with somebody clinging to the side of you.
Right.
Now I'm sure you've had like drunk people hanging off of you in your past life, right? Humans who get a little too drunk
carry
and
them out
treat
of
you
the
like
bar,
a person. Yeah.
Throw them in a taxi,
Exactly.
make sure they get home safe, yada, yada. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you've never had to climb down the side of a building with someone clinging to you. But yes, you can. You can try it. So you climb up and Christine is just like wide-eyed and frightened.
Yeah.
So what do you what do you do? What do you say when you get up there?
Hey, come on, it's all right. I'll carry you. Okay? I've done this before. It's fine. I'll just hop on and I'll carry you with one arm and we'll just go down, okay? It's fine.
And she nods nervously and Christine's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
All right, just hang on tight, and we'll make it to the bottom, no problem.
She
Okay.
wraps her arms around your neck and squeezes tightly enough that if you were a human, it would probably be uncomfortable. Now before you make this climb down, Haley, you have 4 advantages that you can spend. Now you can, if you want, 1 for 1 recover a strain if you have any strain you want to get rid of. You can also spend one of those if you want to give a blue die to Johnny for this climb down. You have that available to you as well. If you want to spend one of those. What do you think? How much strain do you have right now? Haley?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking to me.
Yeah, it's okay.
I
that
went
four
to
advantage is up to you. Do you spend?
yeah, I think I'm down at 0 now.
Okay, good. Cool. So you just want to spend them for a strain? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're on your own, Johnny. Make an athletics check. I think carrying a person hanging off you while you climb down, probably only difficulty 1. There you go. Ace it. No problem.
Solid.
All right. Everybody's down on the ground.
Okay,
The
here we go.
drone.
All right.
The drone gets shot at again. Kodiak's Vibe Unit B fires a few more times. Now there's 3 of them this time, so they're going to get an extra upgrade. So let's have that happen. It's gonna be 2 yellow dice, and they are at medium range. I gotta roll one more. I gotta run one more yellow for him. Hang on. Okay, no, nothing. All right, so they fire at it. The laser fire just hits the side of the drone and bounces off of its shell. It's weathered and now it's got deep cuts in it, but it's resisting. It's still squirting fire everywhere. Everybody is now down on the floor of the comm center. I think what happens is that two of the guys that are firing the weapons in your direction, they've kind of got you. They think they've kind of got you pinned down here, right? Because the drone, I'll paint the drone in orange. The drone is sort of like here, and it's squirting fire all over the place. In like this sort of direction.
Ooh,
Right?
that's so
Very
fancy.
nice.
So it's shooting fire like in this direction, kind of keeping them pinned down, and then the drone is there. You're all down here, kind of in between the drone storage. But this is flat to the ground, so you can run across the top of it, and it doesn't provide any cover unless you're lying totally prone on your stomach. So they're trying to like take the drone out, but they're really looking for you. There's some distraction there. You might be able to use the drone to like buy you time to run off. You got maybe like one more use of the burning pesticide before the fuel tanks run out. But someone in Unit B, maybe the one that is dragging their injured companion back. Also, Martin's lying face down on the ground over here. One of them turns back to the shuttle. Side note, Martin.
Side note,
one of them turns
over
back
here.
to the shuttle and shouts, "We need reinforcements!" And the door of the shuttle opens, and the rest of Cody XVI is going to deploy into the commons. But you have a moment to do something. So Yasna, you've been watching all of this occur. Yasna and Autumn, what do you want to do?
I think I want to use. So I want to potentially use a story point to pull out Haley's map and review the crayon drawings to know that we need to go to the vehicle bay. And
so you want to use a story point to say that there is something in the vehicle bay you can use?
Yes.
Because like you have the map, and the map lays all this stuff out. That's why we have this expertly drawn
I'm
map
also
that
thinking
I made.
that with the second set of reinforcements that are coming out, that maybe we need to find our own mode of transportation.
If you would like to spend that story point, we can talk about what you think would be in the vehicle bay.
Yes.
All right. What do you think it would be? This is a farm.
Yes. Which means that it would basically be an empty cattle truck.
Okay. Yeah.
Or some sort of livestock truck.
Okay. So a livestock transportation truck.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So it would be like a a tractor.
I got enough experience with fucking grab tanks to know that you just don't ask for one on a farm.
There are not enough story points in the universe for there to be a grab tank in the vehicle bay.
What if this is the A team though, Adam? Then we could build a grab tank in the barn because it's closed. And the enemy can't see it.
You have lots of time. All right. So in the bay it's like a tractor with an attached trailer that you would use to move livestock around. Okay. I dig it. All right.
Wait, did I say tractor?
And it's like a functional
truck. Because
it's
truck,
like it's I
imagine
a livestock transportation thing
on a tractor. Like
yeah, no, it's like a proper like a vehicle. It's not going to be as fast as a hunter killer shuttle, but like it's not. You're not going to get on and just be like but like slowly. It's got to have enough torque to pull a trailer, so it's in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Tractor escape, dude.
The shuttle just like follows you like in fifth gear. Like I don't guys.
What are you guys doing?
Okay, just blast them. Just fucking blast them. Yes. Okay. So in the vehicle bay there is a vehicle of some kind. There is a truck that can pull a trailer, and it's in that bay, and it is functional enough that you could use it. Now, whether the keys are in it or it has fuel or whatever, like we'll figure it out. But it's in there. So you know that. What are you going to do with that information, Yasna?
I'm first off, I'm going to turn to. Well, let's see. Johnny is down now, right? So everyone's down. And I'm just gonna kind of refer to the flip that we just saw from Haley, and She is a professional. I told you, stay calm. Let's go. We must go to the vehicle bay. And we start heading that way.
Okay. Now, is this a roadie run type situation? Are you going to hunker down and run for it? Are you going to go through the machine shop? Because remember, the machine shop and the vehicle bay are connected. So do you run for the entrance of the machine shop, or do you loop around and go directly to the bay? Are you trying to get there by speed or by stealth?
I would say that we're trying to get there by stealth. And, considering that also Haley made the map, like that would be I think the most appropriate strategical approach to it. So yeah.
All right, everybody's gonna hunker down and make a run for it. Okay.
Yep.
So
Johnny
Haley,
takes
what do
Christine's
you?
hand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's just like, I'll just go wherever you go. You
Free.
saved me. I'm attached
so
to you
he's-
now.
He's
Yeah.
protective.
Adam, glancing
Yes.
over, like,
Mhm.
does Martin look dead? Like, is he moving or groaning or anything?
So
I'm
you
a
have two
doctor,
options. You
goddammit.
Yeah, you can reach out because you took biopsionics and metapsionics, right? So
No, I have
okay,
biosonics and precognition. 'Cause
precognition.
aerodynamics.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I guess you could use precog to find out if he was going to die. Yeah, I think
Well, I think
at a
like my
distance,
first
you can.
thought is look over. Is he moving? Is he like groaning?
Does he appear to
or,
be
like,
dead?
Does he look dead? Because I don't think she would think to be
Let's-
like, I will see into the future and see if he dies.
Yeah, right. Sure, that's fair because you have mundane ways you can do that without
Yeah.
exhausting yourself. So it's just a perception check, I think, just to see if he's
Is
breathing
there-
or whatever.
Is there
The difficulty on this, is going to be, I'll give you a blue die because you've got some overlap, right? Because you're looking for medical stuff, you're familiar with it. Take a blue die. Difficulty is going to be 3 though, because he's far away and there's fire and it's a stressful situation. So difficulty 3,
Okay.
give yourself a blue die and roll perception.
Okay. Why does it not include my difficulty
It just really
die
wants.
every
It just
time?
really wants you to succeed. I'll look
Like,
at
I've
your
put them in.
character sheet.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've put them in at the top, but it's okay.
I
I think I
believe
have
you.
to click off the box. I think it's because I leave my cursor. on the box.
Probably, yeah, that might be the case. Okay. I like how you
Okay.
get good results when there's no difficulty dice, and then your
Yeah.
dice actually betray you. on
Yeah,
those
they're like,
sections.
nah.
You cannot tell, and the fact that you are taking a minute to check on this guy instead of running for your life is stressing you out.
Yeah, too strained.
So I'm going to instead of putting strain on you, I'm going to use those to give you a black die on your next action. So just clear your pool, put a black die in there, and then when you try to stealthily make it for the machine shop, you're gonna have a
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, so Johnny, Yasna, and Autumn. Haley, are you gonna go with them, or are you gonna stand here piloting your drone and cackling? You got one action. You got one action of flamethrower drone left.
Right. I am going to go with them, but before I do that, I'm going to try and full throttle the drone into the shuttle.
Okay, just like crash the drone into the shuttle.
Yes, Vanna, you're the
God, I love it, dude. I love it.
Also, we need to take it out. Like, such smart thinking. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Make another pilot check. Make a pilot check to kamikaze this drone into the shuttle. I think
What
the
kind of difficulty do you want?
I'm
Good shapes.
gonna upgrade the difficulty. I'll spend a story point. So one bad
should spend
upgrade.
one.
I think
Spend
it's
one
only
more.
2. I think it's just 2 difficulty with one with one upgrade on their side. Do you want to spend 1 too to upgrade yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I give you one and I get it back. All right. So on the left, 1 upgrade. And on the right, 2 purple and 1 upgrade, and then roll pilot.
Oh my god. Okay. I have no skills
You do
in
have a
this,
chance-
so.
You do have a chance to crit on either side.
Woo! Okay, here we go. Good shapes. Good shapes. Good shapes.
Shapes.
Ah,
All right. So, you're gonna get advantage, but you don't hit it. You don't succeed. So it doesn't crash. You can't get it to. And I think what it is the system has built-in collision detection that starts going off as it gets close, and it starts struggling with you, and you're trying to like override it, and it ends up hovering kind of over here, and then just finishing spraying the tank and pushing Unit B back further. But you don't manage to convince it to crash into the shuttle. So it's just like hovering, and then it runs out of pesticide, the last like, and it stops, and it's just like hanging there, and shooting fire everywhere.
Can I use those 2 advantage points to give a downgrade to the Unit B's next roll?
You can give them a black die, but not a
Okay, that's
not
what
a
I
full
mean.
downgrade,
Sorry,
I don't think.
I don't know what to call that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is there a
It's
word
okay.
for that, or it's just black die?
They're the setback die.
Setback. Yeah.
Setback.
They
Okay.
are, yeah, I think so. It's boosts
do-
for the
can I
blue
do
one,
that?
setbacks for the
Yeah.
black one. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally. So that way, whoever flubs this inevitable stealth roll when they get shot, they won't have the thing.
Okay, and then
cool.
I'll run for it after that doesn't work out.
Yeah. And I'm gonna refund you your story point because you didn't get the upgrade on your side. So I'll just.
Oh, it didn't go
take that
through?
and we'll-
No.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
no.
what might be happening is if you put the upgrade in before you roll, you have to click like somewhere outside
Oh,
of the
okay.
box
Cursor's
that
flashing,
you set
yeah.
it in. I think that's
Do
what
you-
that's what
Okay.
happens. The API
Do you want me
doesn't
to
read it if
re-roll
you're still
it,
active in
or-
the field. No, it's okay. We'll just keep it as it is. Okay, so that drives them back. Martin is still laying over here. Maybe gets burnt slightly.
He's
Yeah, let's
definitely
do
dead
the
now.
run. Let's do the stealth run. So Yasna, Johnny, and Autumn, all of you need to make stealth rolls.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do that at let me see. I gotta check let me check the difficulty because it's their perception. So don't roll yet.
Oh, I already rolled, Dad.
Well, you shouldn't have. I didn't
Gotta
say
wait
roll. I
for him
said-
to tell you how hard it is, Elspeth.
That's right. So these nerds, they have a perception of 2, and
Big flaming drone.
I think that's it. Yeah. So okay. So two. Everybody roll with 2 purple dice. Roll stealth.
Oh, Jesus.
And yeah, and that's that.
That's that.
That's that.
GG,
Okay.
thanks for
I've got
playing. Oh my god!
Yay!
All right,
You're
so
doing it.
Johnny gets
I'm
2 success and 2 threat.
Well, not bad. I'll
Haley
take it.
gets
I'll take it.
1. Haley gets 1 success. The Countess Eridanis gets 1 threat. Yasna, how about you?
That's
A
not good.
success and
Success?
2 threat.
That's right, a success and 2 threat. Okay, all right. So this is stressful as shit. So let's just have everybody who marked a threat take that much strain. I'm just gonna apply like blanket strain. So if you got 1 or 2, just mark those. Haley, you just fucking tiptoe through the tulips unscathed by their perception. But the only person who failed is Autumn. So you're the only one that gets spotted.
I'm a
So you're the one that gets shot
doctor.
at.
Can I do a quick game check real quick before
Yes. you
Autumn
can.
gets owned?
Yes.
I'm
Before
in
we shoot at Autumn.
danger.
Yep.
What is strain supposed to be
Ralph Wiggum.
based off of? Like
Your
what?
strain is based on your it's 8, or I think for you for synths I think it's 8. Let me check. Plus your willpower, and it's a threshold, and you pass
Plus
out if you go over
willpower.
your strain.
Got it. That's what it is. So
Yes.
it's base plus willpower, and wounds is base plus brawn. Correct.
Plus brawn, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Adam, can you remind us?
I'm gonna.
Do we have to add anything to our next rolls for threats, or are those just going to be?
No,
taking
for right
strain.
now I'm just applying it all as strain. It's just
Okay.
this whole situation is stressful as fuck.
took 2
Now, when they shoot at you, they are distracted by Haley's burning drone situation over here. So they are going to attempt.
They're shooting at me,
to-
right? Because I failed.
They're going to shoot at you, but they are distracted
'cause
by
they've seen
by
me.
the drone.
Yeah.
That is correct. Okay, so I'm gonna clear. I got my pools cleared.
So just to
They
clarify, do we
are-
add strain to our character sheet because of that?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
You
go
track
up.
it, and it goes up until it hits your threshold, in which case you pass out. Okay, so these boys, they have 2 and 2, so I'm rolling
This is gonna hurt.
2 ranged heavy
Mm-hmm.
with 2 upgrades.
Can I
get ready to
spend
get-
a story
get ready to
point
get
to
laser.
downgrade you?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I'm very squishy and no shoot, please.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Please no shoot.
So just an innocent banker. So 1 upgrade instead. You spend a story point, 1 upgrade, laser rifle. Let me see. They're at medium range from you. And they get a bonus blue die from the accuracy of the guns here. Oh, and they get another black die because of interference. Okay, big pool. Here goes. Zork, get blasted.
Did you upgrade them or did you downgrade? You should have upgraded difficulty, right?
I thought you wanted to downgrade them. It's functionally the same.
Oh, okay, it's the same thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Right, because
yeah.
I took away one of their upgrades instead of upgrading the difficulty. Fine. I downgraded them. Yeah. Okay. So not enough to cause a crit. Not enough to cause a crit. Because I don't have any advantage. They take a strain from all the fire. You get 8. You take 11. You take 11 damage minus your brawn.
Yeah, that's 1.
So how much?
So I take 10.
Okay, take 10 damage. Yeah, and what is your wound threshold?
11.
Wow. Okay, so 1 more wound and you would have gone down. Now this is great. This is great because I like completely lost track of what time it was. I think we're due a break. But let me tell you about before we go to break. Let me tell you about the burn quality. Let me tell you about what lasers do when they hit flesh. So the burn quality means that you're going to take more damage later if you are not able to get rid of this. So let's see here. Weapon descriptions.
It's a Pokemon.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you're confused. You have to hurt yourself in your confusion. Okay, when burn is triggered. Okay, so you do not get burned. It's burn 1, which would mean I would have to trigger the burn with advantage. You just get zapped with the laser. You do not light on fire, but you are badly hurt on your way to the machine shop. As you run over there, everybody else falls behind. You get blasted. You do get there. Yes, you stumble.
Slam the door behind.
It wasn't a question of getting there. Yeah, you get to the machine shop. Slam the door, and that is where we will cut to our first break. So good, everyone's still alive. We got drone fires. Everything's going great. Stick around. We will be right back with more Verona.